Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Ocala Live. I'm your host, Adam Makulin. Good morning as we make our way through this week here of June as we're getting your morning started. A beautiful morning at that. June 2nd. Here we go. Second day of the month, second day of the week. Let's get her rolling as we could all look forward to another weekend. At least I could. I feel like. Oh, I know. What am I talking about? It's only Tuesday. I'm just coming off Monday. It was a long day yesterday, that's all. But nonetheless, here we are, Tuesday. Looking forward to it as we say good morning to you. If you're enjoying your cup of coffee, if you're on your way to work, thank you for listening. As I'm going to bring you a little bit of news, keep you informed, a little bit entertained. As we got a good show for you lined up today, as it is Tuesday. We know you like Tuesdays around here at AM Ocala Live. One of the big reasons is we got Master Gardener. That's right, Master Gardener Caroline Baldwin in the studio. She'll be here this morning to talk a little bit about what it takes to keep your flowers, your plants, your trees, everything growing nice, and then also kind of what to do when it comes time to maybe hunker down with the expectations of maybe some stronger storms and stuff like that as we are entering hurricane season, as it may be possible here too to see some expectations of some very wet weather for the rest of the week due to what is not necessarily just what's spinning out there in the Gulf, but what that means as it's drumming up a lot of moisture with the weather we have coming through. But right now, absolutely gorgeous. As we had yesterday just a 20% chance, and it rained in some areas, but it was absolutely beautiful. For today, right now, we're sitting at 72 degrees overall, which is just gorgeous. 30% chance of some showers and thunderstorms for this afternoon. So again, kind of like yesterday, just beautiful. Partly sunny skies, high near 87 with a stronger east wind. We noticed later in the day yesterday as the east winds got a little bit stronger as it was blowing pretty good, but that breeze keeps it feeling just a little bit more cool, as we'll expect that east wind today to do so with a chance of precipitation near 30%. Now, as that moves into tonight, a 30% chance of showers, mainly before 7 p.m., and then we can expect it to start clouding up as they could see a low around tonight, a little bit cooler, 69 degrees, with east wind 5 to 7 miles per hour, which is going to drum up a little bit to come in with a chance of showers, thunderstorm possible after 2 tomorrow, with mostly cloudy skies for the day tomorrow, high near 86. Now, that light east wind is going to drum up the idea of a 50% chance of rain for Wednesday, with an opportunity for some strong rainfall amounts in lieu of the thunderstorms. And then it just kind of carries in through the rest of the week as we look at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Well over an 80% chance of rain for all of those days. Showers and thunderstorms possible after for Thursday, after they say here, showers and thunderstorms possible, high near 81, with those south winds coming up, bringing up 90% chance of rain. So as we move from today, which is beautiful day, we're going to move into a wet week as we see, like we said, Wednesday 60%, Thursday 90%, as we see Friday showers, thunderstorms possible after as early as 8 a.m., high near 83, and chance of precipitation is 90%. And that's going to carry through the weekend as they're showing that there's a good possibility of rain Saturday and Sunday with an 80 to 70% chance Saturday and Sunday. So we can see rain in our forecast, and I think that's just part of it, right? That's what this is, the rainy season, and something to be expected. As much as it's a little bit of gloom, I know we're going to see some sunshine in there, and then as the afternoon comes in, it'll boil up. I think that's pretty much what it's looking at, as the afternoon's going to boil up pretty good for the remainder of the week to definitely bring us some rain. As we know, things are definitely getting more humid as they're getting more warm when it comes to temperatures overall, as we're sitting right in the mid-80s for most of the week. We can kind of expect that as like we said, coming through this time of year. There is a little tropical depression out there that we've been talking about, a little low in the Gulf. A little shout out to my old friend and instructor there, to Mark. Oh, Mark, there's a low in the Gulf, buddy. which means that could develop into something a little bit more once it exceeds 35 mile an hour winds, which they're possibly seeing that becoming a named storm throughout the next few days here, and then we'll see what happens from it. As we know that the Gulf of Mexico is very warm, we are calling for a very active season, and as we are already in it, we can already see some stuff shaking and baking, moving and grooving. As we are now 21 minutes past the top of the 7 o'clock hours, we're saying good morning to you as we talked about. Good show for you lined up today. We had a good show for you yesterday as we discussed a little bit about what was going on through the weekend and everything in the turmoil of the wake of everything with Minneapolis and George Floyd, and then now what consequences to those actions that are coming through in lieu of that with the president making some statements yesterday for law and order, basically to make a whipsaw swift come through. As we mentioned that a little bit, we had a good show too, because we had Lena Williams come in. We're getting closer to talking about some community events that'll be coming up as we get more things back into it. But we were able to keep her around for On This Day in History, and really got some good conversation rolling through some of the events that we had saw take place in history on the date that it was June 1st. And with that being said, we got some good ones for you today too. So for June 2nd, not too bad. As we move through, obviously when we get to the bottom of the hour, we'll come back to get the conversation rolling, and our phone lines will be open, 622-9622. If you'd like to share your opinion, or if you'd like to get something off your chest, or if you want to just communicate something to start a conversation, let us know. 622-9622, as we said. And then we're going to roll it to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be talking with Galen, Life South Community Blood Centers. We'll be chatting with him. When we get to the 8:30, at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, we're rolling into some local news that kind of got drummed up there overall. So a little bit of news bits for today, and then we'll carry into the 9 o'clock hour with Miss Carol Ann Baldwin for In the Garden with Carol Ann, as we'll run that to 10. And then at 10 o'clock, stay tuned. Sunrise Automotive repair with personal care. Matt Gibbs, we'll have him in the studio to talk a little bit about what you can do to, well, for these long, for these summer days, now that traveling is getting back, what you can do for these long trips to make sure that your car is ready for the road ready, and anything else you guys like to talk about in lieu of automotive care. Matt Gibbs will be in the studio to talk about that. And then we'll be rounding out our show with, that's right, On This Day in History from 10:30 on. So we got a good show for you, so stay tuned as we're going to take a short little break here and get your day started. As we say, it's a beautiful morning. Although when the sun was coming up, the sky was pretty red, but it's beautiful now. And they say red sky in the morning, sailor and aviator take warning, but it's looking all right now. But for the rest of the week, we'll see a little difference there overall. But we got a good show for you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Ocala. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. We are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. Good morning, everybody. Back after this.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
WOCA. Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers, and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Here are some of the most effective ways you can prevent the spread of germs. Wash your hands by scrubbing thoroughly with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds, and always wash before you touch your face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers in addition to hand washing or where soap and water are not available. Limit sharing of items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Avoid all physical contact with others, including handshakes and kisses. Practice social distancing by maintaining a distance of 6 feet from others. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals and insist they isolate themselves. Sanitize frequently touched surfaces in your home and workplace several times a day. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at Scientology.org/stay well.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, President of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
WOCA. Ocala.
Good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live in the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we're saying, good morning as you wake up this Tuesday. Beautiful morning to boot, as we're currently sitting at a nice, pleasant 72 degrees with an expectation of just a 30% chance of rain today. As we do wake you up, as we say good morning, as we make our way through this week, now second day of June, and everything that is moving on around the country in the wake of Minneapolis with George Floyd. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back from the break and get that conversation rolling, along with some other things. And we're going to keep it just a little bit lighter, too, for this day of Tuesday, as we know we're getting ready to dive in there to the work week overall, too. So stay tuned. We got a great show for you, as I'm glad to wake up with you. I'm still waking up myself. Boy, it was tough this morning, but that's because it was a long day yesterday. But hey, that's okay. Long days, a lot of work, a lot of efficiency there. So as I say good morning, I hope you guys have a good day here. Thank you for listening. AM Ocala Live. A lot of good show for you coming up. We'll be back right after this.
Chris Foster. President Trump says he will send the military into American cities if necessary to end riots happening since George Floyd's death in Minneapolis 8 days ago.
If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
Police officers then used tear gas to clear peaceful protesters from a park for President Trump to walk through and pose for photographs with a Bible in front of St. John's Episcopal Church. The bishop there says she was not notified and is outraged the church was used as a political prop. An independent autopsy finds George Floyd died by asphyxiation with a police officer's knee on his neck.
In my opinion, he died. He was dead after about 4 or 5 minutes.
That's Dr. Michael Bodden. The official autopsy also noted underlying medical conditions and drug use. America's listening to Fox News.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool, so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/ProLoyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
Fox News.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey folks, that selection of great trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens just got better. Now listen to this. When you buy one tree at Bob's already super low price, you get another one for half price. Now this applies to every tree in stock, starting with a great selection of large trees, 4 to 6 feet tall, selling for just $19.99. All the way up to Bob's famous super jumbo trees at $5.99, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check out the truckload sale on citrus trees, too. Orange, tangerine, tangelo, lemon, lime, grapefruit, others. Many are bearing fruit right now, and they start at just $59.99. How about that BOGO on shrubs, priced at just $19.99 to $24.99. Buy one, get one free. Come by early. They open at 9, and get the best selection. Beat the crowds. It's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
Looking for fun and educational online activities for children? Then check out Teaching Tuesdays, the Appleton Museum of Art's free weekly art project video series. These educational videos feature art projects that can easily be done from home with basic art supplies and materials. A new video is posted each week at 10 a.m. on the Appleton's Facebook page, website, and YouTube channel. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala by calling 352-615-5566.
WOCA.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
If you've got just a minute, I'll tell you about the terrific sale on summer annuals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Now, this brand new selection includes coleus, periwinkle, celosia, zinnias, begonia, marigolds, impatiens, melonpodium, gomphrena, and that's just the beginning. Take your pick, mix and match for just $2.29 each, or get a huge flat 18 for $19.99. Hummingbird and butterfly plants, big selection, take your pick. Bob's got them $9.99 to $12.99. Bob still has BOGO on blueberries, and of course you gotta get crepe myrtles. More colors than you can count, starting at $24.99. Don't miss out. Best thing is to get there early. They open at 9, and they're open until 4:30 daily. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, the same blooming place since 1952.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Want protection? Hero Mammoth covers only your nose and is made in the U.S. from U.S. source materials. Eat, drink, and breathe better. www.heromammoth.com.
WOCA.
Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Good morning, everybody, as we're waking up here, Tuesday, June 2nd. Good morning, everybody. As we're moving through here, this June 2nd, Tuesday, baby, Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday. So we got a good show for you like we talked about, and as we're making our way through, getting this conversation started here, as we also talk a little lighter note kind of things, I thought this was interesting. It was interesting because there's these certain Guinness World Records, there's these opportunities that you read every now and then that there's something that you didn't think existed as a world record, and then all of a sudden you hear about somebody doing a world record for something that it's like, well, they got creative to think about doing it. And then you're like, well, creative, they were probably already records set prior to this. And then you wonder, is there people who just go through the world record of Guinness World Record book and just look at things that they could try to beat? As this one's really interesting, and I just thought, well, maybe is it possible? You don't have to train for this, do you? This one's kind of easy, and you could go down on the record books. As this one is a little bit gross too. As an Idaho man drank an entire liter of lemon juice through a straw in under 17 seconds for a world record. Yeah, a world record. As an Idaho man turned a sour taste into a sweet achievement when he drank a liter of lemon juice through a straw in under 17 seconds for a Guinness World Record. David Rush, who broke more than 100 Guinness records to promote STEM education, emptied the glass containing a whole liter of 100% lemon juice in under 17 seconds, in 16.53 seconds to be exact, as Rush's time bested the previous record of 17.12 seconds set by Andre Ortolf. It says Rush said he kept throwing up after finishing the juice, but his stomach discomfort lasted until the next day. Oh, disgusting. That's what's incredible, too, is a liter. That's a lot of it. That's a lot of it. As this guy has, like we said, we talked about breaking more than already 100 Guinness World Records. As it's talked about, as they, I was going to see if they give a list of some of the other ones that he's at least attempted to break. As one of the other ones is he broke a Guinness World Record by teaming up to dress the husband in 32 T-shirts in 1 minute. It says David Rush, who's already broken more than 100 Guinness records, is one of them here, as teamed up with his wife Jennifer to break the record for most T-shirts put on in 1 minute. Like, who comes up with this stuff? As the video shows, Jennifer Rush dressing her husband in 32 shirts in the allotted time, beating the previous record of 31 shirts, saying, quote, she had a slick motion where she would catch the shirt coming down over the back of my neck and in one swift motion pull it down over my back. He said the attempt marked Jennifer Rush's first official Guinness World Record after previously acting as helping him achieve a world record for the fastest time to wrap a person in cling wrap. She did not receive a mention in the official list. As this guy here, this David Rush, like I said, broke more than 100, as that's kind of like his thing, his gig, his shtick is breaking these world records. And one of them, as we looked at, this was just the other day, as he drank an entire liter of lemon juice through a straw under 17 seconds. Seems almost easy enough, but nope. As that's pretty gross. As I don't think I don't know. Could you do it? Could you drink lemon juice? I don't mind lemons. I feel like lemons are a little bit sweeter than limes. Both are somewhat tart, but lemons being more sour, I feel like they have a little bit of sweeter taste than a lime. So when it comes down to Corona beer, not the virus, when it comes down to Corona beer, I'd rather have mine with a lemon. Oh man, but crazy stuff nonetheless. As we got another one here too. This was kind of crazy. It says a wacky but true. As a man gets arrested to avoid quitting job. It says a guy in China was detained for making a false police report as part of an elaborate excuse to quit his job. The man said in the false police report that he was a drug dealer operating out of his workplace so that he could be arrested. Police later learned that the man made the story up so he could get out of the job because he hated it. And it just goes to show you, if you hate it that much, man, just tell him you quit. But I guess there is some justification to think that if you're actually getting arrested, that means a little bit more. And be like, well, I guess Greg's not coming back. I guess he's going to come to find out he's a drug dealer. Well, I guess Greg's not coming back. I don't know. Interesting. Nonetheless, we'll keep it rolling. We're going to take a short little break here. WOCA lemon juice in under 17 seconds. A liter of it. A liter of it. So what if you do 2 liters? Does it matter the time? Or do you have to get it in 32 seconds? Ugh. Liter's a lot. That's a lot. I'm going to take a quick little break. More to come when we come back. AM Ocala Live. Back after this.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223. Ocala Business Leaders Incorporated is a group of independent local firms providing a wide range of quality goods and services. Each firm strives to maintain the highest level of professional integrity and 100% customer satisfaction. When you're looking for goods and services, call a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, and we are confident you will be pleased with the results. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Ocala Business Leaders, join us at the Ocala Elks Lodge, 25th Avenue in Ocala, any Wednesday at 7 a.m. and enjoy a breakfast on us. For more information, check OcalaBusinessLeaders.com.
This is Jan from Palm Garden. Now that our governor is slowly reopening our state, the number one question I get is, when can I visit my loved one at Palm Garden? The quick answer is that I don't know. I can tell you that we were the first to close and will likely be the last to reopen in order to protect our residents. Limiting visitors, screening, and masks will also be likely. Until we are able to see you again, we are Palm Garden.
The Centers is here for you with services in person or via telehealth use, computer, iPhone, or Android. Or call us 352-291-5555.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around, Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Looking for fun and educational online activities for children? Then check out Teaching Tuesdays, the Appleton Museum of Art's free weekly art project video series. These educational videos feature art projects that can easily be done from home with basic art supplies and materials. A new video is posted each week at 10 a.m. on the Appleton's Facebook page, website, and YouTube channel. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org.
WOCA.
Listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Broadcasting to you live in the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we were talking last week and the week prior to that about the expectation of when certain things around the country, around our state, within our community, can get things open back up and get a move and groove on. As this one comes up as of yesterday, with the idea of the Florida Keys to reopen to visitors after the devastating coronavirus shutdown. As Key Largo, Florida, as the Florida Keys reopened for visitors Monday after the tourist-dependent island chain was closed for more than 2 months to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. As the Keys took down barriers, Miami-Dade decided to keep its beaches closed because of protests in South Florida and across the country over the May 25th death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. Roadblocks were taken down shortly after midnight near Key Largo. The northernmost island in the chain says almost half of all workers in the Keys are employed by hotels, bars, and other hospitality industries. Many of the rest are involved in some kind of commercial or sport fishing. So Richard Stanziak, owner of the Bud and Mary's Marina in Isla Zador, said that the 40 captains who operate fishing boats out of the 76-year-old business have had virtually no customers for weeks and welcome the reopening for the areas for visitors. As there has been a real quick uptick in phone calls, there have been more charter bookings. We are encouraged that it's coming back. It says, yet the carefree party atmosphere that surrounds the Keys and was popularized by the singer Jimmy Buffett with songs like Margaritaville may not return for some time, as the Monroe County Tourist Development Council has made clear on its website that the visitors must adhere to health guidelines related to the coronavirus. Bring facial coverings, gloves, hand sanitizer, reef-safe sunscreen, personal essential medicines. If you're feeling unwell, please stay home, Council says on its website. As the Keys have been relatively unscathed by the coronavirus, as of Sunday, the Keys had 100 confirmed positive cases of the disease, 3 deaths, and 12 hospitalizations. It's not far off from what we talk about with Marion County. The total population is a shade under 80,000. Since March 22nd, the Keys have been closed to non-residents who don't work or own property in the county. Airports in Key West and Marathon were open, but passengers are screened and told to self-quarantine for 14 days. The roadblocks on US 1, the only road in or out, and known as the Overseas Highways, went up March 27th. As down in Key West, one of the major tourist attractions is the house formerly owned by Nobel Prize winning writer Ernest Hemingway. As Jacques Sands, general manager of the home, said, it and its 59 cats will be open for business Tuesday. Many of the cats have 6 toes, unique descendants of a feline named Snow White, given to Hemingway by ship's captain, according to the At Home's website. Sands said she sees all types of visitors, although none in the past couple months. And some come for the cats, some come for the history and Ernest Hemingway. I'm getting calls all over, she said. The guests will wear masks. We'll have plenty of masks that we'll be able to hand out to guests if they do not have one. So the idea is that with the later this week, Universal Orlando was to open its doors for guests for the first time since March, and Walt Disney World was scheduled to do the same on a rolling basis next week. In Miami-Dade County, officials had planned to open its beaches Monday, but opted against it, given that the protesters and the curfew over the Floyd's death. It says still hotels were reopening in Miami with restrictions, including a requirement that guests wear masks except inside their rooms. Okay, as such, but obviously the guidelines that are implemented. But with that being said, it's coming back where now the Florida Keys are looking to get themselves back, and it's good to hear that they're actually getting phone calls that say, "Hey, we want to book a sport fishing charter. We want to, get things moving to where we actually can go down there and enjoy ourselves." So it's good to know that that's coming through and through as Florida's Keys reopened for visitors yesterday, Monday, in the tourist-dependent island chain. That makes you wonder for places like that overall, for as far as their economy and stuff for their community, just exactly what that means to have 2 months go by without tourists. That's heavy. That's heavy overall. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. And we got a caller. Good morning, WOCA. You're on the air.
Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Hugh. How you doing today, partner?
Pretty good. See, I was just wondering, I'm watching a lot of TV with all this rioting and stuff going on, and all these people, thousands of people that are all gathered together in these big groups and stuff. That you just wonder if there won't be a spike in that virus in a matter of a week or two, but with all these people being close to each other and everything else. I got a feeling that if there isn't a spike in a couple of weeks, that a lot of the thought that it would be a second round, it probably is not going to be true.
Right, that's a good point. I guess in a way, I'm kind of waiting to see that myself. If you think about it, that's what they're trying to report in the news. There's more talks about with all this gathering for protesting, expect that. But at the same time, I'm wondering if that will really actually happen, and if it doesn't, then all of this is kind of. All this, like you said, with the second wave and the expectations of that, isn't that maybe an indicator that we can just go ahead and open things back up to 100%? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see that.
Yeah, if things are going to happen, I guess in about a week or two or a week and a half or so, after you come down with this, you have the symptoms. So we should be seeing here pretty quick, maybe later on this week, if there's a big up number in cases popping up. It was true, but if nothing comes out of it, it might have been all just hearsay.
Yeah, that's a good point. And if it was just hearsay, what do we do from that point on? Is it time to have this conversation of just saying, to hell with it and get things back open 100%? And what's that mean for some of these guidelines? Because even like we've been talking, I've been mentioning a lot with local tourism here with the idea of Universal City Walk, Disney Springs, Universal this Friday to open up their theme park this Friday. And I think it's middle of July for Disney World. So, for example, with everything that they're setting with guidelines to wear these masks, like you said, if this comes out to be hearsay, at what point can we say, all right, put the masks away as far as mandatory requirement? If you want to wear one, go ahead, but don't make it mandatory, especially in 90-degree July weather in Florida, being outside. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And if you were a betting man, would you say it probably is farce? It probably is it probably won't come back with a giant spike, or the numbers will be FUBAR again, and they'll be telling us that they spiked, even though they might not be, just like when it comes down to the idea of the number of actual COVID-19 deaths, when it's, peppered in with all these underlying symptoms, but they still call it a COVID-19 death. Is it going to be some of that same stuff where it's like, oh yeah, I guess it spiked, when it's like, did it really though? It's hard to navigate through and through.
Yeah. What's the deal now with the Paddock Mall down there? Now, they closed because of fear of a riot damage, or was it because of the virus? And do they have any ideas when it might be opening up again?
Well, it's on Sunday they had everybody removed from the mall around 2 with the expectations of what was reported within the community about the movement of the protests around that time for Sunday. But it did open up yesterday at 11 a.m. So as of right now, they just been closing, and as they do, they kind of barricade a little bit, like we can see right now. But they'll take those down, and the Paddock Mall will be open today at 11.
Yeah. Does a business look kind of normal there, where you can see it?
From yesterday, I think it was a little lighter for the doors opening up than what it has been. But I think at the same time, it kind of come through and through that it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's just hope now, as time goes on, that things will settle down a little bit. I know this is the 7th or 8th night of problems of rioting and whatever, and I don't know. It might last a little bit longer, but we'll see. Hopefully, you think it would die down and people would come to their senses.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. Well, thanks for the call, partner. We appreciate it.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
You got it. Thanks, Hugh. Yeah, and you got some good programming coming up, my friend. I know you like Tuesdays. As we move our way here to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, as we do, welcome to Tuesday, folks. June 2nd. Here we go. AM Ocala Live. Stay tuned. Up next, Life South Community Blood Centers with Galen and Ag News, Florida Agricultural News. Stay tuned for that. WOCA, the source. WOCA, Ocala.
Chris Foster. President Trump is threatening to send the military into cities hit by looting and violence that split off from peaceful protests over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
We cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob.
After speaking in the White House Rose Garden, the president walked across a park to a church damaged by fire Sunday night. Fox's Jill Nato reports.
Before he took that walk, demonstrators in the area were cleared out with tear gas. House Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler issued a statement complaining the president had allowed tear gas to be fired on peaceful protesters so he could walk across the street for a photo op.
4 police officers in St. Louis and 1 in Las Vegas are shot and wounded during protests there. 2 police officers are hit by an SUV in Buffalo, New York. The driver and passengers are in custody. America's listening to Fox News.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/ProLoyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
From the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Today in Ag News, I'm a Southeast Ag now with the 2020 hurricane season here, and the fact forecasters have predicted an workers are finishing repairs on Hurricane Michael, which hit back in October of 2018. USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service in Florida provided $20 million in Bay, Gulf, Gadsden, and Walton counties to remove debris in canals, ditches, and streams to prevent flooding and to stabilize stream banks and prevent erosion threatening homes, roads, and utilities. And NRCS and the state wants to remind landowners that if your area suffers damage from a natural disaster, the Emergency Watershed Protection Program, or EWP, can help relieve imminent hazards to life and property caused by floods, fires, windstorms, and hurricanes. Aid may include financial and technical assistance to remove debris from streams, protect destabilized stream banks, and establish cover on critically eroding lands, along with repairing conservation practices and purchasing floodplain easements. Now, the public and private landowners are eligible for assistance, but you must be represented by a project sponsor. That could include anything like a city, county, conservation district, or a Native American tribe or organization. NRCS provides technical assistance and pays up to 75% of the construction. Local sources then contribute the remaining portion in the form of cash or in-kind services. Learn more on the NRCS website, fl.nrcs.usda.gov, or contact your local USDA service center.
Maintaining your crops is as important now as it's ever been. Howler, a revolutionary fungicide from AgBiome, can help. It provides long-lasting protection from a broad spectrum of foliar and soil diseases that affect fruits, vegetables, and other specialty crops. Howler is OMRI listed, has multiple modes of action, and has minimal pre-harvest and re-entry intervals. It's flexible, easy to use, and is available right now. Call 855-946-9537 or visit agbiome.com/howler to learn more.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast Ag Now.
Hey folks, that selection of great trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens just got better. Now listen to this. When you buy one tree at Bob's already super low price, you get another one for half price. Now this applies to every tree in stock, starting with a great selection of large trees, 4 to 6 feet tall, selling for just $19.99. All the way up to Bob's famous super jumbo trees at $5.99, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check out the truckload sale on citrus trees, too. Orange, tangerine, tangelo, lemon, lime, grapefruit, others. Many are bearing fruit right now, and they start at just $59.99. How about that BOGO on shrubs? priced at just $19.99 to $24.99. Buy one, get one free. Come by early. They open at 9 and get the best selection. Beat the crowds. It's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Garden, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala by calling 352-615-5566.
WOCA.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
And you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, streaming live, YouTube Live. WOCA, The Source Radio here as it is now, 6 minutes past the top of the 8 o'clock hours. Life South Community Blood Centers. We got Galen on the phone. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Adam. How are you?
Not too bad, my friend. I'm just had a long day yesterday, so I'm still trying to wake up a little bit. I made my coffee extra strong, so I'm waiting for the high octane to kick in. as I just needed just a little bit more sleep last night, but nonetheless ready to take on this second day of June, second day of the week here. As we were just talking a little off air about they're trying to make some people are trying to make a big deal. We just talked about it with a caller there about the coronavirus coming back with all this public gathering and protest, but I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see a spike coming. Do you?
No, and again, I look at the science, I look at the data, I look at it almost every single day. Yeah. Over half the deaths in the state of Florida are from long-term health care facilities.
Yeah.
And when you put in long-term health facilities and then comorbidities, it's like 98% of all of the deaths.
Yeah.
So, I said this back in March. I'm staying true to it today. There was no valid reason to shut down our economy, and I really believe the rioting we're seeing and the massive outbursts all over the country, in places where there shouldn't be, is a direct result of it.
Yeah.
So I think people are just not only pushing back on police brutality, but it's the overreach of government. So yeah. I think people are just, like, look, you're boxing me in here, and now you're going to give me an avenue. And then when you don't have a strong leadership, then people are just going to explode, and that's kind of what's happening. I think we've done a pretty good job in the state of Florida.
Yeah. I
think for the most part. I thought the sheriff of Polk County said it pretty good. And you look at the major cities, and we're not having that massive problems. I think the same is true in Atlanta. I think Atlanta got in front of this thing.
Right.
And again, they addressed it, and they real leadership was met there. But you look at places like Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, L.A., where there is a big lack of leadership, then the rioting is getting very intense.
Yeah.
And again, I'll say it again, I don't think the president's helping anything.
Okay.
So he has, I think the whole thing of standing in front of the church with the Bible is pandering at its best. So
yeah, it was a little obvious.
I mean, it was a pure photo op.
It was. It was a little cheesy.
And and it's like, and I'm a Christian, and the Bible means everything to me, but it was pandering. And again, this is the, I felt really good about him being reelected. That not that, whether I vote for him, I'm still not completely decided. But with the option being Biden, it's kind of a binary decision. But he's losing this fight right now. He is losing this fight right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think he handled the coronavirus particularly well, and I definitely don't think he's handled the riots very well.
Now, what do you think of his, threatening to deploy the United States military to American cities to quell
Not legal.
the rise of these fights?
Not legal.
Yeah.
Illegal. You cannot turn, and there's a very good reason for that, because that's how coups start. That's what the National Guard is for. Now, I read an article that there is I forgot the term they used, but there's a very specific term in which he can call the Army. But the Army isn't going to fight themselves. They're their own people.
Right.
That's what they're for. The National Guard should have been deployed 3 days ago. The second the curfew goes into effect, whether you believe in a curfew or not, clear the streets. But again, they let these people loiter and they let them hang out, and that's when bad things happen.
Yeah, and like you said, I think
it's a lack of leadership. It's a pure lack of leadership.
That's what it is. It attests to it, and like you said, even our state, even our community has done really well in the idea of, like you said, kind of getting out ahead of it, and showing the leadership. Obviously, making statements in regards to how they feel about it and making that public, but at the same time, kind of just like you said, showing the leadership that shows that we're not going to let that become our community, let it get that big or blown out of proportion. It's interesting, like we said, just how many days now we're on this. Is this the 7th or 8th day? Am I correct?
For the rioting? No, Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday, really.
The
video came out on Wednesday or Tuesday, really, but then everybody got fired up about it on Thursday.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we said yesterday a little bit, it's to a point where we have to ask, where do we go from here, and what has to happen next, Galen? What do you think has to happen next?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the leaders of these towns, the governors and the mayors need to step up, and the chief of police needs to decide what he wants to defend.
Yeah.
When you leave complete areas in LA completely undefended, then that's on you. When you have a mob, that's no longer a protest, it becomes a mob. It's just going to fuel the fire. People can't even drive down the street without being attacked. So that's on local leadership. So the people, the mob, will go as far as you let them go.
Right. Just to turn the note a little bit, as we mentioned, our state of Florida just kind of, hanging in there, and like we said, good leadership and everything else. It's also the idea of now we're starting to see things open up. I was reading there before the 8 o'clock hour that the Florida Keys, as of yesterday, are trying to get back in business. And I know you've gone down there quite a few times. You enjoy it down there. It's going to be nice to see them kind of come back a little bit. We know that is a huge thing with their economy down there. Is tourists coming to vacation and get on these fishing charters and pay patron to the restaurants and to the bars. And I was going to say, do you see yourself going down to the Florida Keys anytime soon?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go next. I turned 50 later this month, and so I've caught a lot of fish in my life. I've caught every fish I've ever wanted to catch, except for one, and that's a sailfish.
Is that right?
I've had many on the line, but I've never actually brought one to the boat and touched it. I've been in the boat when other people have caught it.
Yeah.
I've caught blue marlin. I've caught black marlin. I've fished all over the world. When I was in the Navy, I used to go fishing when we would go to ports.
Awesome.
So I've been fishing But so my goal is to catch a sailfish, take the photo, get a mount made of it, and put the fish back in the ocean, and then hang that mount in my office.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can do that in April.
Yeah.
That's my plan, because that's when they run. So I couldn't do it this April for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping to go next April.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I've actually had one. I tell this. I don't know if I've told the story on here, but
let's hear it.
I've been fly fishing in the Keys for bonefish.
Oh yeah.
My father and I a long time ago, and there was a sailfish just kind of dancing in this really shallow water. And the guy, I'm like, oh, I want to catch that. The guy's like, please don't. He's like, please don't. And he's literally like begging me. And my dad looks at me and he nods my head, so I throw my fly out there and he takes it. And I had no chance. And the guy's just like, he looks at me and he goes, I ought to charge you for that all that line he's about to just destroy. And he's flipping on top of the water. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was absolutely phenomenal, and I had no chance of catching him. The reel is screaming. So it was on a little flight when we were bone fishing. That was so much fun.
That's
I've caught tarpon. I've done all that, but I haven't caught a sailfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I want to do.
It's incredible. Those guys down there as sport fishermen have been basically 2 months, truthfully about 2 months, a little bit more, with not really having any business to actually go out there except for the locals. That's got to be, when do we start seeing some of the consequences to all that?
I think they're, and the crazy thing is, it's a great time of the year to fish.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it's been good for the fishery.
You think so?
Less
Yeah.
pressure.
Right.
Yeah, and the guys who do those guys, the guides, they just love to fish.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they just went out fishing and tried to find new spots.
Find a new spot. Yeah, you're right.
For the fishery.
Yeah.
Good for the fishery.
Yeah. That's a good point. A little silver lining to it. Yeah, maybe it was just a little bit break and helped the ecosystem in itself. Maybe found themselves some new fishing spots. Yeah, like you said, take a little pressure off of it overall. And I'm sure they're ready. They're probably itching now to get back in there and have the tourists come down so they can take them out. And,
the snapper season opens soon.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be really, really big.
Yeah, it should be good. As we bring you this segment, sponsored by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, I'd like to thank Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street, where they offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. Any questions on how they've been handling COVID-19 and where their expectations go for this month of June, they encourage you to give them a call, 352-854-6262. It's 854-6262. And, of course, our friends Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving this county for over 30-plus years. Every bit of their success is to that unrivaled customer service. Full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs. Remember, they've got experience in both the commercial and residential fields. You can find them 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, 352-351-3420. That's 351-3420, as they're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So for Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. As we turn it to a little bit of sports, Galen, we were just talking off air that the target date for the NBA, as far as returning to get some basketball there on the television set, is looking for July 31st. I was thinking maybe a little bit sooner, but July 31st is a little ways down the line there. So with that, they're looking at 4 different formats to choose from, basically. And with that, we were talking that if we got it started sooner, maybe they could just finish out the regular season for having only about 2.5 weeks left of games for that. But now we're talking July 31st, and that's a ways down the calendar there in summertime. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting how they all make this work. There's no real concrete plan.
Mm-mm.
They don't know how many teams they're going to do. They're not going to exactly sure even where they're going to play. They're talking about all being in one city. whether that's Orlando.
Right.
Who the heck knows?
Now, that is kind of interesting, though, overall. Like, Florida's ready, I think, and we're welcoming it. As there was a possibility that for 20 teams, if the league brings 4 extra teams to Disney, it would likely be a World Cup-style group stage. And this format would see 5 groups based on a regular season record for open playoffs, and each team would play each other twice. Then they're talking...
Yeah, I think that's going to get voted down because it just hurts too many teams.
I think so, too. I was going to say that. I said, I don't see that one hanging in there. Now, the other one...
But again, there's no money. I don't know. The money to be made is all from the television.
Yeah.
Right? And that's going to... Everybody's going to get an equal share.
Yeah.
I know that there are some cities that want to host. I know Oklahoma City wants to host, and they're like, no, let's just... If you do that, then you're going to expand the travel, and God forbid people get on a plane. So I don't know how they're going to do it.
The other one is, one of the mentions is just 22 teams bringing 6 extra teams to Orlando, and that would open the door for a play-in tournament. And that style being discussed would include all teams within 6 games of a playoff spot. That one almost sounds a little bit more to fruition. That would be like the Pelicans, Blazers, Kings, Spurs, Phoenix Suns, and Wizards. If the 2 number 8 seeds in each conference were included as well, the NBA could build a simple 8-team type bracket with either a single elimination format or like a short series. Something like that I see coming maybe to fruition, but they also...
I still think I think the NHL nailed it.
Yeah.
But the NBA can't follow the NHL's model, I guess, because that would be, I don't know, admitting that the NHL had a better idea than you.
I was going to say
the same number of teams.
Right.
It really was a brilliant move by the NHL.
Yeah.
I just think they should have started sooner.
Yeah.
But I think it's a brilliant idea, but the NBA is trying to make this so complex.
Yeah, they are.
All they really want, let's be very clear, they want LeBron in the final.
Yes.
Against anybody else.
Yes.
So, yeah, and then well, go ahead. You could read the third one.
Yeah, I was going to say for 30 teams, the NBA brought the entire league to Orlando, and then they would indicate that they would be holding a 72-game regular season before holding a play-in tournament. And the advantage of doing this would be getting each team beyond 70 games, and that is the critical marker in local television deals. So that's the one that, like when you said, Galen, it's what do you want to do here, and then like you said, at the end of the day, to support all teams within like local television deals. But I think you nailed it, my friend. I was waiting for that. You said it. At the end of the day, you want the biggest name players. You want the Clippers. You want LeBron and the Lakers playing. You want the Lakers in the finals. That's what they want. They want that all together. So whatever they decide to come up with, and you're spot on. The NHL did it right, and it makes you wonder, why couldn't the NBA just do that? But I think you're right. They would have to admit to saying that they didn't come up with it.
And they would have gotten to the 70 games.
Yeah.
Right? I want to be clear. They would have gotten to the 70 games. So if you have, you have your top 8, right? In each, they're going to play a round robin.
Yep.
And then you have your bottom, basically, 4 left? 6 left, whatever that is, you just play each other.
Yeah.
And then the top 2 of that, however you want to break it up, make the playoffs. And then we go and let's go 5-game series for the first round. Mm-hmm. And then we can go 7 and we're ready to go.
Yeah.
They had to make it complicated.
That's them overall, I guess. But who knows? We'll see. And like I said, that's pretty far off too. When we're still talking about it, we're June 2nd. We're talking basically another 2 months before we would see the NBA actually come to it.
Again, I don't know why they waited till July 31st.
I don't know either.
That doesn't make sense unless they believe that they'll be able to have fans in the stands, in August and September.
And
maybe.
And
I don't know.
I don't know either. And what does that mean, partner, for the beginning of the new season of the NBA? Because we know that typically starts at the end of October. What does that mean for the beginning of the next season? There's hardly a break there.
Well, what they'll probably do is they'll play the game.
Yeah.
They're going to sell tickets. So let's be very clear.
Yeah.
they'll play the games. They'll do all that. You'll just see your stars load, manage, and just not play much during the preseason and everything else. But you're going to have teams that aren't going to play very much, if at all, under this system until preseason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And like you said, I feel the same way. Man, July 31st, what a long way off. And then but like you said, if that's their way to try to maybe justify being starting later, they might be able to put people in the seats. Who knows?
And again, as we look at more and more data on the on the coronavirus, we've been testing donors now for 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Yeah.
For the antibodies, and our positive rate in the whole Southeast is less than 1%.
Wow.
So, and you look at the number of cases that are coming, and if we flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Right. If that was our only intention, we flattened it. So I'm hoping we can move forward with our lives, and let's get this phase 3, and then let's get coronavirus behind us. And I know that these extended care places are really taking every precaution.
Right.
And again, that's where the people are most at risk.
Right.
So hopefully we can get this past us, and then we can move on, and people can go back to work, and we can go about our lives. Churches are starting to open. I know First Baptist opening Sunday, and then my church is opening up on the 14th. Okay. So we just need to get back to some normalcy.
Yeah, and maybe that's what needs. As much as we were talking at the beginning of our segment there with everything going around the country, maybe that's what it is. Just a little bit of normalcy will help kind of at least iron some things out overall, maybe. But with that, partner, as we say with this segment, to give the gift of life and donate blood, Bloodmobile today. Where will it be?
Hey, today we're at the Walmart in the Shores.
Okay.
So since our businesses still aren't really open, we're thankfully our Walmarts have really allowed us to come in and open their doors for us. So thank you very much for that. Come by and see us. And again, we are doing antibody testing. So if you're curious, if you think you got the virus, we'd love for you to come by and give the gift of life and donate blood. And that convalescent plasma will go to a COVID patient.
Yeah.
So there are still some. We have very few in our actual community, but there are some in throughout the Southeast. So
have you seen?
I think we shipped 8 of them yesterday.
Yeah.
Just aren't that many patients.
Right.
It really isn't.
It really isn't. Have you seen enthusiasm with people in lieu of wanting to get the antibodies for donating blood? So has the ability for people to get in there and donate blood been fairly steady in lieu of needing it? We know we're in definitely need of it with all of the elective surgeries and all that stuff, but with the kind of advertising that you guys do the antibody test, has that brought out a little bit more for donations?
Yeah, it really has. It's been it's really saved our blood supply. Our blood supply is skyrocketing.
Good.
The usage is skyrocketing, so it's allowed us to meet that increase in demand without a full workforce, without the schools being open, without the colleges and universities being open. We've been able to meet that because of people wanting to get the antibody test.
Exactly.
And then they're shocked that they didn't have it.
Yeah, I was going to say, how
I talked
often?
to a person yesterday, they were like, no. They got the test results, and I get some of the people who just, that I have to talk to, customer service-wise, and they're like, no, you don't understand. I know I had it. I said, sir, did you have a positive COVID test? He goes, no, but I was sick. Like, okay. He goes, I had all the symptoms. I'm like, those are also flu symptoms.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, I had it. I'm like, okay, well, you may have and just not developed antibodies.
Maybe, small chance.
He's like, can I get it again? Can I get it again? I'm like, yeah, you don't have the antibodies. So according to your body, you haven't been exposed to it to develop the immune system.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, my gosh. He's like, no, I have to stay inside. I said, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give you advice on that.
And he's the same guy 3 months ago when he was sick. Somebody made the joke, "Hey, it looks like you got the coronavirus," and he was probably darn sure that no, I don't. But now he's like, "No, I know I had it. I know I had it."
No.
Well, Gail,
No, the age range for our donors this month has gone up pretty significantly.
Yeah,
I will say that.
That's good. Well, thank you, partner. Get safe to where you're going, my friend, and we'll talk at you tomorrow. You got it.
All right, have a great one, man.
You too,
Bye.
buddy. WOCA Ocala, back after this.
He's hit by looting and violence that split off from peaceful protests over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
We cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob.
After speaking in the White House Rose Garden, the president walked across a park to a church damaged by fire Sunday night. Fox's Jill Nato reports.
Before he took that walk, demonstrators in the area were cleared out with tear gas. House Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler issued a statement complaining the president had allowed tear gas to be fired on peaceful protesters so he could walk across the street for a photo op.
4 police officers in St. Louis and 1 in Las Vegas are shot and wounded during protests there. 2 police officers are hit by an SUV in Buffalo, New York. The driver and passengers are in custody. America's listening to Fox News.
Anyone who builds, remodels, or repairs for a living, we know the way you work has changed. That's why Lowe's is committing today to build new ways to keep you working tomorrow. We are proud to introduce the new Lowe's for Pros job site, powered by Stream, an augmented video chat tool, so you can be there for your customers without actually being there. And the cost to use? Try it free through October 31st at lowesforpros.com/ProLoyalty. Just one of the reasons why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Services subject to Stream terms. Lowe's loyalty membership required. More terms apply.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? How about 40%? With Allstate, safe drivers can save 40% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 40% just by driving safe. Visit Allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today and see just how much you can save when you drive safe with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Savings vary and based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Smoothbrook, Illinois.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Hey folks, that selection of great trees at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens just got better. Now listen to this. When you buy one tree at Bob's already super low price, you get another one for half price. Now this applies to every tree in stock, starting with a great selection of large trees, 4 to 6 feet tall, selling for just $19.99. All the way up to Bob's famous super jumbo trees at $5.99, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. Check out the truckload sale on citrus trees, too. Orange, tangerine, cantaloupe, lemon, lime, grapefruit, others. Many are bearing fruit right now, and they start at just $59.99. How about that BOGO on shrubs, priced at just $19.99 to $24.99. Buy one, get one free. Come by early. They open at 9, and get the best selection. Beat the crowds. It's this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala, by calling 352-615-5566.
WOCA.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention and God bless America.
If you've got just a minute, I'll tell you about the terrific sale on summer annuals at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Now, this brand new selection includes coleus, periwinkle, celosia, zinnias, begonia, marigolds, impatiens, melanpodium, gomphrena, and that's just the beginning. Take your pick, mix and match for just $2.29 each, or get a huge flat 18 for $19.99. Hummingbird and butterfly plants. Big selection. Take your pick. Bob's got them $9.99 to $12.99. Bob still has BOGO on blueberries. And, of course, you gotta get crepe myrtles. More colors than you can count, starting at $24.99. Don't miss out. Best thing is to get there early. They open at 9, and they're open till 4:30 daily. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, the same blooming place since 1952.
Want protection? Hero Mammoth covers only your nose and is made in the U.S. from U.S. source materials. Eat, drink, and breathe better. www.heromammoth.com.
WOCA. Ocala.
Listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we just wrapped up with Life South Community Blood Centers there, talking to Galen, giving the gift to life and donating blood, and that segment comes to you proud from Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center and Penn Flooring. As we move on here now, 8:37, as we're going to bring you a little bit of news bits here as we move on to Ocala. As mentioned, as the demonstrators from this weekend, this is the Ocala man who was the sole arrestee during Sunday's demonstrations. It says Jason McDonald was held on charges of disorderly conduct and resisting or obstructing an officer without violence. Police say he was confrontational with peaceful demonstrators. The lone person arrested during Sunday's demonstrations protesting the death of George Floyd and other people of color while in police custody was a 27-year-old Ocala man who police say was provoking a large number of demonstrators. As Jason M. McDonald was arrested at 4:23 p.m. at the Ocala Downtown Square. He was held on 2 misdemeanor charges, disorderly conduct and resisting or obstructing an officer without violence. His bail was set at $1,000 per charge. As according to the Marion County Jail records, he had posted bond by midday on Monday. According to the Ocala Police Department, an arrest record as demonstrators moved in a group west on Silver Springs Boulevard and halted at Pine. A white male with a skull tattoo on his arm, later identified as McDonald, was seen arguing with officers. He was shirtless and appeared angry, agitated, and seemed not happy about the protest taking place, the report states. as McDonald would not listen to the officer who was trying to calm down and ensure peaceful protest, the report says. Several protesters said McDonald was causing a disturbance and asked him to be removed. 2 OPD officers warned him that there was a mission for peaceful protest, to which McDonald reportedly responded, "I might go to jail today." When the demonstration returned to the square and speakers were about to address the crowd, McDonald made statements that agitated the group, which began to approach him in a hostile way. An OPD officer concerned for McDonald's well-being tried to pull him away, but he was uncooperative, the report states. McDonald's body became stiff, and he seemed agitated as 2 OPDs tried to put his hands behind his back and cuff him as he forcefully broke his hands free and appeared to be in a fighting stance with his hands raised up in closed fists. As McDonald continued to move away, according to the report, one of the officers bear-hugged and then picked him up and front leg sweep the left leg right to his right leg. As Donald fell on his back, the officer was able to get on top of him in mount position, and multiple officers secured his hands and legs quickly. And the officer was able to get off of him as McDonald was escorted away. As the report says, another OPD report connected the arrest states that despite the warnings from police, McDonald had continued to yell at protesters, get in their face, and use foul language towards them, as the report puts the size of the group as 400 to 500 protesters, and states McDonald jumped onto the stage and squared off the speaker, almost inciting riot, which is a little heavy there, but he was the one soul that was in lieu of the protest that was actually arrested. So as we move on here, this one coming up in Ocala, as it was the, there it is 3 missing children found safe. This was good to report, as the Marion County Sheriff's Office had a issued bulletin on Friday that 3 young children who were the subject of Marion County Sheriff's Office missing/endangered alert on Friday have been found, according on a Marion County Sheriff's Office news release Monday morning. The alert stated that the 3 children, Jillian, 3, Braylon, 1, and Brody, 3 months, had been at risk, as their children's mother, Pamela Levon, 25, had been avoiding contact with DCF, the Department of Child Facilities, in their efforts to assess the well-being of the children during an open child protective investigation. As the bulletin said, the children had been last seen with Lavin, who was driving a black 2017 Escalade. The Friday alert stated, and a request from the Sheriff's Office to provide more information about the case was not met by midday afternoon. But they had been found, which is important there nonetheless, as that comes to. Now, with the idea of everything that's been going on, nonetheless, it's just a change in the note here. As Florida Wildlife, alligators pound front door on a Fort Myers home. This was worth a look into, as 2 alligators, and there's a photo here of them, and they're serious, as 2 alligators around 7 feet in length were found outside a Florida woman's home in Fort Myers. Susan Gashel was getting coffee around 6:45 a.m. Tuesday when she heard a pounding on her front door. There were 2 alligators around 7 feet in length outside her Pelican Preserve home in Fort Myers. They're just delivering a package. Gashel said one of the alligators' snouts was on the glass window and pinned to the door. The other one was at a distance with its snout out. As she said, she was nervous because one of the alligators had clamped its jaw on the body of the other gator and pinned it to the wall. They're fighting, Gashel said, as she called her husband Joe. She captured the moment on video, posted it to Facebook. She said that the alligators were on her property for over 20 minutes before they took off. One of the gators crossed the street to the neighbor's house. She didn't see where the other alligator went, but it may have gone to the pond near the area behind the house, she had said. They made a mess on the front door, and after living at Pelican Preserve for 15 years, this was the first for Gashel to see alligators outside of her home. Now, according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission spokeswoman, Melody Kilborn, the 2 adult male alligators in the video are exhibiting a typical reaction to being in a somewhat confined space. Alligators are most active and visible when the water and weather is warm, and in some places in Florida, they can occur year-round. as Kilbourne said that the public should be aware that alligators can be in any body of water regardless of the weather. Alligator courtship begins in April, and mating usually occurs in May and June. They become sexually mature and active when alligators reach about 7 feet in length, according to the FWC. And for some alligator safety tips, keep a safe distance. Never feed one. When fed, alligators can overcome their natural wariness and learn to associate people with food and swim only in designated swimming areas during daylight hours. Alligators are more active between dusk and dawn. Keep those pets on a leash and away from the water's edge. Pets can resemble alligators' natural prey. As there's some safety tips as we come into, like we said, it's mating season, as they are sexually active, as they do become that when they are reaching 7 feet in length, as that occurs in May and June. And if someone is concerned about an alligator, give them a call. The nuisance alligator hotline at 1-866-FWC-GATOR. That's 866-392-4286, as we said. So for anybody who's, like we said, got concerned about an alligator, and these two were big. They were huge, 7 feet in length. And what a small little nook there in front of the front door. Man, oh man. Incredible, these things. Like we said, the nuisance alligator hotline, 866-FWC-GATOR. 866-392-4286. We're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we'll do a little bit more with News Bits. Get ourselves to the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. At 9 o'clock, we'll have Miss Caroline Baldwin in the studio, Master Gardener for In the Garden with Caroline. Back after this, WOCA Ocala.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
Prevention is important. Help prevent the spread of illness and keep yourself and others well. Here are some of the most effective ways you can prevent the spread of germs. Wash your hands by scrubbing thoroughly with soap and hot water for at least 20 seconds, and always wash before you touch your face, eat, or drink. Use hand sanitizers in addition to hand washing or where soap and water are not available. Limit sharing of items such as utensils, cups, and dishes. Avoid all physical contact with others, including handshakes and kisses. Practice social distancing by maintaining a distance of 6 feet from others. Sneeze or cough into a tissue or the inside of your elbow. Avoid contact with ill individuals and insist they isolate themselves. Sanitize frequently touched surfaces in your home and workplace several times a day. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Download the free booklet at Scientology.org/stay well.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, President of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
WOCA.
Breezy today with a mix of clouds, couple of showers and a thunderstorm mainly later in the day, high 84 to 86. Tonight, patchy clouds will develop, low 71 to 74. Tomorrow, intervals of clouds and sun, a shower or a thunderstorm around. Wednesday's high 82 to 85. Then tomorrow night, cloudy with a thunderstorm, low around 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. As we welcome you to Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday. That's 2, as in June 2nd. And it's Tuesday. Clever, huh? Some time to think about that one. And welcome. We got a good show for you as we're rolling through this 8 o'clock hour here, bringing you some news bits. This one here within Ocala, as this happened on Sunday. It happened about at 9:30 p.m. Sunday south of Bellevue. As of Marion County, some sad news. A 31-year-old Ocala man died Sunday night after an SUV reportedly ran a red light and crashed into a sedan at a southeast Marion County intersection. The Florida Highway Patrol reports, Florida Highway Patrol press release states that at 9:30 p.m., an SUV heading south on County Road 467, which is southeast 36th Avenue, at a high rate of speed, the driver, a 34-year-old Ocala man, ran a red light at County Road 484 and struck the sedan, which was westbound on County Road 484. The driver of the sedan was pronounced deceased on the scene, and the SUV driver was critically injured and transported to the Ocala Medical Regional Center. As the Florida Highway Patrol release indicates that the SUV driver was not wearing a seatbelt, as it was unknown if the sedan driver wore a seatbelt or not. The victim and the injured driver were not identified in the Florida Highway Patrol press release. Neither vehicle had a passenger, as that we said came up on Saturday night. As more and more as this stuff rolls through, as we've talked about a little bit, some of the consequences to the actions of staying on lockdown amid the coronavirus, Floridians with no history of depression are actually suffering amid the coronavirus, as mentioned here. As mental health issues increase, experts urge people to reach out for help. As a little public service announcement, as we mentioned here, as Derry Tunick thought watching his wife die of sepsis 2 days after their son was born was the worst grief he would ever experience. 8 years later, unable to access unemployment benefits for months after losing his income, becoming a coronavirus shutdown, thinks he may have been wrong. I said, quote, "I told my youngest he couldn't have a glass of chocolate milk one night because we needed the milk for breakfast in the morning." And it says now he struggles with dark thoughts about ending his life. The 2-month cushion to delay his rent payments has passed. His savings is run dry. The family facing eviction from their Davie home, and their water and electricity are scheduled to be turned off June 12th. It says that the history is all too common. Anxiety, depression, feelings of helplessness, and suicidal thoughts are exacerbated in times of great stress, like the coronavirus pandemic, experts say. Even those who have never experienced mental health issues are vulnerable in such trying times. Now, statistics supporting the statement are staggering. That the Disaster Distress Helpline, a national web subnetwork of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, in April reported 486% increase in calls over a 2-month period and an 890% increase over the same time last year. As while organizations have not officially attributed those increases to coronavirus, it said the most common caller complaints are feelings of isolation, financial woes, and anxiety over the possibility of catching COVID-19. Now, with this, the American Psychological Association, back in May of 2018, had a publication called "The Combination of Stresses, a Perfect Storm for Suicide Risk." For some, those worries can also externalize in other detrimental ways, such as substance abuse, child abuse, or spousal abuse, which we've seen the numbers in that as we talked with Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods, Greg Graham, our police chief of Ocala Police Department, seeing these rise in numbers when it comes to substance abuse, child abuse, and spousal abuse. Financial stress in particular is widespread. By mid-April, more than 60% of Floridians were already reporting concerns over their ability to meet financial obligations over the following 3 months. A Sunshine State survey that was brought up by the University of South Florida and Nielsen had showed. Now, such is the case for Tunick, a television installer whose troubles began when he lost his job in March. Penniless over the 2 months later, he said he spends exacerbating days on the phone and the internet trying to reach anyone at the state to help him with his unpaid claim, saying, "I don't know what will become of us if any help arrives. I'm so depressed." They say, hold on, but it's hard to do. Now, in the state where almost 14% of the population subsisted below the poverty line before coronavirus, an additional 2 million Floridians have filed for unemployment as a result of the pandemic. For many, the loss of even 1 week's pay, let alone several months, can be financially and emotionally devastating. His faith and immense love for his children have prevented him from harming himself, he says, but his depression is crippling, as many people are affected with it, as saying, for some people, reaching out for help in any fashion can be dismaying. It says one woman in Palm Beach County, a real estate agent for 34 years, said she's been contemplating such suicide for weeks because of the fear of being ostracized by friends, coworkers, clients. She spoke to Palm Beach Post on the condition of autonomy as this comes through and through, and it's something that's mentioned as we something to talk about as the consequences to what's been happening, as some people are having issues, troubles. And despite months of calls, emails, and letters to Governor DeSantis, they said received little response. He knows that some people are desperate and urges anyone failing emotionally to reach out for help. As that we said, this comes through and through as, just like we said, just a little public service announcement to those who are noticing friends or loved ones that may be going through or feeling tumultuous times with how they're dealing with their emotions. Is the time to ask them if they would need help in the idea of what can be done to get them help or something close to. As that that rolls on, as it's harder to get through that. But nonetheless, as we play on out here, one of the things to mention, as we were coming through with the mention of Florida and the Florida Keys reopening to visitors as of yesterday, it's good that we see this coming back to fruition. As we mentioned before, is the idea of Disney World, Universal, those theme parks set to open with certain dates, as we can see some of the tourism coming back. And one of the big things, too, is the idea of airline travel, still with numbers that are not good as far as what it takes to fill the seats the best they can on the aircraft to get people traveling to continue with that industry to make it effective, is the idea that they're still trying in lieu of keeping the middle seat open. And a lot of people are questioning whether or not that's going to change the demeanor and the pricing of what it takes to get an airline ticket if you do need to fly anywhere, as we'll be looking into that a little bit more. But as we're coming towards the top of the 9 o'clock hour, as we say, stay tuned, as we've got Carol Ann Baldwin. We got her coming in for the Master Gardener to talk a little bit about what you can do to get this wet season, to move on with what you need to keep your lawn, your patio with your flowers, your plants, your trees, your vegetables, and whatever questions you have to keep them growing, to keep that thumb green, so to speak. So as we come to the top of the 9 o'clock hour, stay tuned, as we got a little bit more coming up with that. And it should be good. And then after that, Sunrise Automotive Repair with Personal Care. Matt Gibbs, will have him in the studio as we'll roll on. And then stay tuned for what's left in the 10 o'clock hour of our show, is we'll have On This Day in History, as we take a look back at some interesting things that took place on this day, June 2nd, in history. There's a few things. The last few days have been interesting nonetheless in lieu of history and events that have taken place. As we do come to the top of the 9 o'clock hour, WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. WOCA, the source. Take our break. We'll be back right after this.
Chris Foster. It's been 7 nights now of protests and riots in cities around the country since George Floyd's death in Minneapolis. President Trump